and gentlemen, to an all-new reaction and review. Tonight, guys, I'm taking a look at a supernatural romance film from 2009. I can't even believe that's a fucking genre. Anyway, the movie is The Twilight Saga New Moon, and I'm going to tell you guys, I sat through the first Twilight film. Most of you watching this probably have already seen me sit through the first Twilight movie, and you know all of my complaints there about the fact that there was almost no plot to speak of. Nobody here knew how to act, or at least tried to act. Our plot was terrible. Our dialogue was lifeless. The story went fucking nowhere. It was a terrible fucking experience. And normally, I would totally just stop watching a series when the first movie was that goddamn bad. And the only reason I'm even bothering with it now is because I got the entire series off of the Amazon wish list, so I'm kind of honor-bound to cover all 5 of these motherfucking things. The only thing I know about the second film, the only thing I know about New Moon is that it decides to add werewolves into our all fucking ready, lifeless and boring mishmash of wannabe vampire bullshit. And frankly, I don't even know if that's going to help this. I really doubt that it's going to help it. I really think I'm in for another 2 hours of pain and torment that I should not have to sit through. Yet, here I am. I'm going to sit through this thing, and I swear to God, it had better be at least a little bit better than the first one. However, though, this series can really only go up from the first one, right? I mean, there is no way we're gonna get 5 movies with the same lifeless shit, right? God damn, I certainly hope it's better. And the only way I'm gonna find out if this thing is better at all is if I shut up and I push play, and you can tell I'm stalling. I really don't want to, but I might as well just get this fucking shit over with. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and watch The Twilight Saga New Moon. So she got a paper cut that was deep enough to draw blood from gift wrap. How the fuck? I honestly, guys, didn't even know that you could get a fucking paper cut from gift wrap in the first place. And I've never seen a paper cut that was deep enough to actually draw blood. It really, guys, just seems like a really lazy way of bringing blood into a room full of vampires. And not only is it lazy, it was incredibly fucking stupid. You know, guys, it honestly is really fucking cute. This movie is trying to make us care about these characters. It would probably have worked if, you know, the characters had some level of personality and depth. Perhaps, honestly, if there was a reason to care about anything that was going on in this movie. Perhaps, honestly, if this movie was not fucking boring as shit. I would probably care that Bella is just so fucking devastated. But I can't bring myself to care because this movie's yet to give me a reason to fucking care. You know, guys, I really find it kind of funny that this movie is trying to show us that there is some sort of a thing between fucking Bella and Shark Boy, but guess what? Similar to everything else in this fucking film, it falls flat because the acting sucks and the dialogue is lifeless, and I'm just waiting for this motherfucker to end. Okay. This right here is a little bit weird. So, we have the only black man in all of fucking Washington, who also is the only black vampire in this entire series. Well, actually, he's the only black character, period. This film is very, very white, let's just say. He's standing in direct sunlight, but I don't see him sparkling. So is the whole, like, sparkling vampire thing, like, exclusive to the Cullens, or were they just too lazy to put it on this guy? Like, what the hell is going on here? Do you want to know, guys, what really makes this whole thing even worse? Beyond the horrible fucking writing and the lifeless acting and the story that is quite literally going nowhere and has gone nowhere for almost 90 fucking minutes, is the fact that this music is torturously bad. I would love, guys, to find a single positive about these movies outside of the fact that the lighting and camera work is fine, But goddammit, I can't find anything because this movie is actively going out of its way to suck. Okay, I have a question about Edward's rather stupid plan here. Um, exactly how the hell is just taking off his shirt and showing that he sparkles going to fucking reveal to all these people that there are still vampires? When it basically just sort of looks almost like he just sort of doused his body in glitter and then decided to walk into the sunlight. How the hell does his plan instantly mean, looky, I am a vampire? Like, the plan makes no sense. However, though, I honestly am not expecting something that is well fucking thought out and well, written from a fucking Twilight film anymore, because I have already learned that that is asking the fucking impossible at this point. And once more, we have a film that's we have a scene, rather, which is trying to build fucking romantic tension. Well, was trying to build romantic tension. And the scene had all of the fucking romantic tension of a grease fire. This film is just terrible. How the fuck are people enjoying this shit? Thank the fucking gods that's done. Well, guys, that was the Twilight Saga New Moon. Let's shut that garbage off. Jesus Christ. I genuinely thought, guys, that I was through the worst of it in the first movie. Because the first movie was so lifeless, was so pointless, was so drab and meaningless. I kind of thought that they would have improved from there, since now the story's being given even more room to flourish and to try to build something. And they didn't. In fact, this thing here is, and I dare fucking say it, it's worse than the first film in terms of all the problems I cited before, and now I have to try to explain them again here. I first want to stress, before I get into anything else here, that this movie, similar to the first and similar to the other sequels when I finally get around to covering those, I am not part of the target audience for these movies, alright? I am not a bubble-headed, fucking tarded tween who thinks this shit is the pinnacle of romance. Alright? No, it fucking isn't. I seriously am never going to be part of the target audience for this, and I want to stress that, so that way people know where I am coming from. This thing was in no way meant for me, so that means that all of my complaints are going to kind of fall on deaf ears, because I already know that the Twilight fans are going to come and they're going to just scream at me because I totally missed the point of everything. Now, writing. What fucking writing. I was hoping for the characters to get, to actually get a little bit more depth and a little bit more of this and that, and we didn't get that. Instead, we get more lifeless bullshit for 2 hours. The closest thing we have to a fucking conflict is that Edward and his family decide to now they opt to move out because the people in Forks have noticed that it's been 10 years and none of them have fucking aged. And they don't bring Bella with them because reasons. And so she basically is either getting psychic messages from him, or she's just having fucking, or she's going nuts and she's just seeing him. And this vision or this psychic speech, whatever the hell it's supposed to be, is basically Edward, ordering her to do this and do this and do this, and basically trying to control her, even though they are no longer technically a thing. Which I guess sort of once more sort of plays into the whole fucking abusive boyfriend thing, which some people have sort of noted with this series, and so because her fucking life is meaningless unless she has somebody, she then runs into Jacob, who we find out in this film is a fucking werewolf, and so are select members of his fucking tribe. However, to actually call them a werewolf is a slap in the face to actual werewolves, because real werewolves, by fucking definition, are, you know, people who turn into half wolf, half man hybrids. Thus the reason why thus why they're called a werewolf. I'm not going to go into detail on that, you know, further. Werewolves are not shapeshifters who can turn into wolves that are four times bigger than any wolf you will ever find in the fucking wild. That is not a werewolf, that is a shapeshifter. I want people to understand this because there is a drastic difference there. And this movie is going to continue to call, or this series is going to continue to call them werewolves, and I'm going to be constantly, you know, irritated by it. But I just want to make that point right now that the fucking batch of Jersey Shore rejects here who are trying to pass themselves off as Native Americans are not werewolves by definition. All right. And besides them being werewolves and supposedly being Native American, they have no other personality. In fact, Jacob's entire personality is, oh, he got a haircut and now he has like a tattoo. That's literally all the depth he has is werewolf, cut hair, tattoo, nothing else. And we are supposed to think that Bella's going to fall for Jacob. And oh, what do you know? She totally does. And the thing's a fucking rehash of all the stupid, inane bullshit we saw in the first film. Including a fucking scene where Jacob informs her that he is a monster, that he's dangerous, and that he could kill her at any fucking given time if he doesn't fucking control himself. The whole thing is a lazy, shitty rehash, and it's not even a good lazy rehash, guys. It's fucking pathetic. And what the hell do we have for a conflict? Well, the closest thing we have to a conflict is Bella wants to be with Edward once more. That's it. And that is not a good enough conflict to work with here. You do not have a story if that honestly is the best you can fucking churn up. And that, guys, is it. This movie is 2 hours and 10 minutes long, and that's all we have for a fucking conflict. And it really gets boring incredibly quick. I really, guys, wanted to shut off this fucking thing 40 minutes in because I was sick and tired of all of the dull, boring bullshit. Now, I probably wouldn't have been as tempted if the acting were halfway decent. And similar to the first film, the actors aren't even trying. Nobody here is putting in even the slightest bit of effort to act. None of them are showing any signs that any of them even know what feelings are. So we have characters here who are even more lifeless than they were in the first film. The acting has gotten steadily worse, and that makes me really, really dread the other 3 films in this goddamn series. And I'm gonna have to sit through all of them, and I have no idea if the acting is going to get worse, but I genuinely don't think that the acting can get any fucking worse. However, I also thought that the writing couldn't fucking get, you know, worse, and that happened. So hey, this thing could very well get much worse. Special effects here are still fairly decent. It really is one of the only things which these movies are doing right. Except once more, anytime that we see a vampire sparkling in the, you know, sparkling in the sunlight, it looks really cheap, and it looks really just, you know, like tacked on at the absolute last fucking second. And I would also like to state that it seems that only the Cullens are the ones who sparkle in sunlight because we once more meet up with the only black character in this entire film who is also a vampire. He is standing in direct sunlight and he is not sparkling. We're also never going to see him again because our bunch of fucking Jersey fucking Shore werewolves decided to they opted to ethnically cleanse the film because they have this like boner for killing vampires. The whole thing, guys, is just incredibly fucking stupid in terms of writing, and I'm going to continue to bang on it even as I'm talking about everything else. And beyond the god-awful vampire fucking sparkles, special effects here at least are competent, and that is far more than I could have asked for. Camera work here is good, and the sound mix is fine. Lighting here is good. The soundtrack is complete shit. However, that really is not a big shocker, because the fucking soundtrack in the first one was also really shit. Ultimately, guys, when all is said and done, am I able to recommend the Twilight Saga New Moon? No. There is no fucking way I'm going to recommend this. This thing is trash. The only way I could possibly recommend it is if you are, I'd say, about 12 years old and incredibly stupid. At that point, you are going to adore this thing. Or perhaps if you have the mindset of an incredibly stupid 12-year-old, then shit, you are just going to eat up this thing and you're going to absolutely adore it. As for me, no. Hell no. There are far better films with vampires. There are far better films with werewolves. There are better films with both vampires and werewolves. And speaking of that, I am going to go watch one of those right now, because I see on my Blu-ray shelf my copy of the fucking Monster Squad. I'm going to go and watch that, because god damn it, that movie is amazing. And it's far better than the god-awful pile of pig shit I just sat through. So yes, guys, with that, we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.